The circumstances in your life don't actually matter. The only thing that matters in your life is the version of yourself that you're choosing to embody. We oftentimes feel like the world around us, what's happening in our life, all that stuff dictates who we get to be. The reality is it's completely the other way around. Rather than looking at the external, we need to understand it's all about what energy we are choosing to align with. When I say choosing to align with, I mean you have a natural alignment. What naturally resonates with you deepest down in your most authentic self. And I mean your most authentic self past your trauma, your pain, the protective personality, the protective personas that we create. Behind all that, behind all the masks, who you are deeply, what you really truly want, not what you're willing to settle for because of inauthentic attachments, misaligned attachments, right? Let's say there's something I want that I know is unhealthy for me. Deep down, I know it's not exactly what I want, but yet I find myself wanting it so badly. First of all, that's an indication to me that some part of my system is working off of inauthentic beliefs. If something is truly doesn't resonate with me, or it is unhealthy for me and I know it is, yet I find myself attached to it, wanting it, trying to control an outcome, trying to get it, trying to shrink myself to try and get it, then I know there's some part of my system that doesn't believe that I deserve better, can have better, that I'm okay without that I need something outside myself, that there's this pattern, this familiar pattern, maybe from childhood, maybe from something traumatic that happened, that I need to feel okay, to feel secure and stable. My nervous system believes that. But here's the truth. When you're pursuing a desire, an attachment to something that doesn't resonate with you deeply, that you know doesn't resonate with you deeply, but you just want it, even if you satisfy that desire, even if you get what you're searching for, the misalignment that you would have to embody, the version of yourself you would have to embody to fulfill a desire that doesn't resonate with you deeply, that isn't aligned with who you are, will be a misaligned version of yourself. And the truth is, the version of ourselves we embody is the reason our circumstances don't matter. Because if I embody a misaligned version of myself, everything around me will reflect that to me. Everything around me will suck. My life will suck. Not because of the circumstances, but because I'm embodying a version of myself that is shrinking down, is constricted, is cut off from everything. Remember, you are the universe. If you want to think about it in more separate terms, you are a piece of the universe, let's say. But in reality, you are the universe. You are the whole in a little piece of the whole. You're a stem. You're a stem on the tree of life, but you're still the tree. You don't say, oh, that branch on that tree is a branch. It's like, yeah, it's a branch, but it's part of the tree. So it is the tree. It's still the tree, right? You are the tree. But when you misalign yourself, you become, oh, I'm just this branch. And you cut off from everything. Everything is energy. If you have a misaligned energy, everything around you is misaligned. And so things are harder, you struggle more, you suffer more, you have more pain, more shame, the energy is just constricted. It just doesn't feel good. You feel closed off. Because when you close off to who you are, to yourself, then you close off to literally everything. Because you are everything. You close off to your entire life, to God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, the cosmos. You cut yourself off from life. If I were to have the bravery to work through the things in myself that are a void, are empty, where I feel like I need that thing I want, where I really feel like I need it to feel okay or stable or secure. When I'm misaligned, when I'm dysregulated, if I really can think about that, take that time, work on that. Instead of being around people, be with yourself, even if it's painful. Because when you embody an aligned version of yourself, that's the only thing to worry about, is what are you embodying? If you embody alignment and authenticity with who you are. That means saying what you think and feel truly, without a fear, without trying to control outcomes. And the only way that comes is by re-regulating your nervous system. And that's a lot of work. That's another topic for another day. But when you can embody an aligned version of yourself, when you can have the bravery to give up desiring something that you know isn't good for you, when you can align yourself, the whole universe, God, the whole comes to meet you. It's like the world opens up for you in a brand new way. Seriously. It's like when you align with who you are, you open up a floodgate. Now your energy is unrestricted. Now your energy is open. And guess what? Instead of misaligning yourself and funneling yourself into this narrow path where, okay, I'm going to go get that thing and everything else is like this, now your energy is open. You're not pigeonholing and pinholing your energy into this, I need to get this thing. Pause. Everything becomes easy, becomes effortless. You become free. Your energy is unrestricted. You feel unconditional joy. You feel unconditional peace. That's what you really want. You're looking for security. You're looking for joy. You're looking for peace. That's what you want, right? And you're looking for it in something that you know isn't going to give it to you because it's just more comfortable. It's just more familiar with the version of yourself that you embody now. If you're misaligned, and that takes work, that takes self-reflection to really figure out what's going on. Why do I feel this way? Really get to the root of it. But when you can align yourself and embody the truest version of yourself, the conditions of your life don't matter. Because if you stand in authenticity, if you're not trying to control outcomes anymore, it doesn't matter what happens. It feels right and it feels good to be who you are. If you're wearing this suit that's a little too tight and it's constricting you, it's pretty uncomfortable. It's too tight. Take off the suit, just be who you are. All of a sudden, everything changes. This literally happened to me, right? I was in situations where I was, just really attached to these outcomes of like, well, I know this isn't good for me, but, maybe it'll just feel good if I just do it and then I can be done with it. And it's like, well, okay. And then the more I just sat in that lane of, well, I know this isn't right for me, but I just want to do it. My whole life, I was depressed. I wasn't feeling good. It didn't feel right. I didn't have respect for myself. I didn't feel peace. I felt very anxious. I felt a struggle inside. But through work, through being able to just give that up and say, no, I'm just gonna align with who I am. And who I am doesn't want that, doesn't want to deal with those things I know that I deserve better than to deal with. None of the conditions of my life changed at all. The conditions were the same things to think about and go, man, this is really hard, or I'm really struggling with this. The same things, but now I had this free energy. Now I had joy. Now I had peace for the first time in so long, and that's why I'm sharing this message here, because if you can just have the courage to embody who you are fully, everything will change. And not only will the conditions not matter to you, the conditions will change. Because the second you can let go of the things that don't resonate with you and have the courage to speak the things that do resonate with you and be who you are. Aaron Doty, I'm going to call out Aaron here. Aaron Doty, great YouTuber who works with energy and energy dynamics in the body and has a lot of great spiritual wisdom. Go check him out. Great videos. But he talks about this. He talks about being willing to step into who you really are, be unafraid of who doesn't resonate with that, because they will leave your life and maybe you'll experience some loss. But that creates energetic space for people who do resonate with you to come in. And this is my take on that, is the people around you, the way your life is structured right now is structured, the reality is structured around a vibrational frequency that you've been existing in, that you've been embodying. And if it's misaligned, then the whole structure of your life doesn't probably resonate with you in the deepest way or as deeply as it could. And so the more you step into the natural vibrational frequency that you have authentically. And you're not shrinking yourself. You're being as high as you can, as high as you are. You stop meeting people where they are and you just embody who you are. You might experience loss, but that's because the people who don't vibrate on that level or on that frequency, and it's not hierarchical, it's just different frequencies, right? Some are more aware than others, some are more conscious than others, but it's not a better or worse value. It's the only way you can look at it like that is that more conscious people or more aware people are less likely to cause suffering to themselves or others. That's kind of it. But in terms of the grand scheme of things, there's no hierarchy. We're on different evolutionary clocks. But accepting where you are in that evolutionary clock, who you are, and discovering that, right? When you rise to who you are, the people that can't match that vibrational frequency fall away naturally. And sometimes it's painful. Sometimes it's really painful. Breakups, you lose your job, all kinds of stuff can happen. And oftentimes when people leave our lives, if they are of a lower vibration, they leave your life with a bang. A lot of the time, if they don't want to change, if they don't want to grow, they will put a stamp in it. Like, I'm not changing. This is who I am. And so sometimes it can be really painful to grow, but you have to trust that when you evolve out of a vibration you don't belong in, you will evolve into a vibration that is aligned with you, that does resonate with you, that is part of who you are. And when you embody that vibration, like attracts like, energy attracts energy, all the people who are part of that frequency will come in. Your life will restructure itself. And there's a transitional period, and it's painful and it's hard, but it's necessary. And so I implore you, if there is anything that you feel like is misaligned in your life and you're struggling and you just feel like, I just want that, or I'm attached to it and I need it, even though I know it's not good for me, I know I deserve better, do the painful thing and just move on. Do the painful thing and move on. And trust that your guides, the universe, God, it's all there to help you. Your guru, it's all there to help you. So just trust that the universe will help you if you're willing to take a courageous step and ask. Ask and you shall receive, as Jesus said. Knock and the door will open, Jesus said. So I implore you, if you're in that situation, if you move on and you really align with your values and you stop being around people who don't align with your values, you stop being around people who don't treat you right, who treat you as not having as much value as you do have. People can only see you as deeply as they see themselves. And some people don't want to look at themselves, and so they won't want to look at you deeply either. And they won't. They'll look at you as more disposable than you are because they don't value themselves. And so how could they value someone else? Truly. If you're in that situation, let them go. Align with who you are and everything will change. I promise. It's terrifying. It's hard. It's painful, but you will thank yourself. You will thank yourself. I promise you will thank yourself. You don't have to live a misaligned life, because when you live an aligned life, everything is amazing. Everything changes. Everything is amazing. Your whole life is amazing, even if you're not doing anything, because your environment is now open and loving and free. Liberate yourself. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Mason. I am a clairsentient, which means, if you know what clairvoyancy is, means you can see visions of things beyond the five senses and kind of download information visually through seeing maybe what happens in the future, maybe what's going on inside someone else. I am clairsentient, meaning I have had visions. I don't see visions all the time, but I can feel things that I shouldn't be able to feel. I can feel information that I shouldn't be able to know. I'm here to share that information with you. I wish you all peace. I wish you all love. I wish you all growth for the most part. Growth. That's what's important. The peace and love will come. Grow. Work on yourself. Learn to love yourself. All right. I'll catch you in the next one.